Hi, my name is Dia, and the title of my poem is Survival. On some days, I love to meet new people in random places. In this city, walking can be a mode of communication, but for a queer woman of color, every step is like Morse code. Anything can be seen as sending signals. There are just some places my body prefers to keep quiet, prefers to keep to myself. Prefers that no one look, speak, or even breathe at me. My eyes forward, chin at anything but a straight angle, because on most days, walking queer and being woman can mean violence. It means that at any given moment, in any given space, men of all shapes and sizes will target us from sideways in all directions. They'll catcall me before ever knowing my first name, and when I speak up for myself, call them out on the unwanted remarks, I can hear the cracks of their fragile masculinity as their tongue coils into a barrel of a gun. They'll fire off rounds of their insecurity like, damn, it's a compliment. You can't take a fucking compliment. Then continue to berate me for talking back or for simply saying no. This kind of violence leaves invisible bullet holes as the shells of the words hit the ground. Am I not supposed to fire back? Because walking down sidewalks is triggering. From my flesh to my throat, where my voice is as thick as a bulletproof vest, is psychological, emotional, and even physical warfare. Like when a white man in khaki shorts and boat shoes dares to stick a piece of paper into my girlfriend's top and thinks it's just flirting. My fists curls up. I feel burning anger like the only resolution is to fight violence with violence, and my body can't contain itself from being harassed or witness assault of any kind. And I know I should be giving him bell hooks, but instead all I want to do is give him my left ones, because on most days we are violated on the streets. Not even sidewalks are wide enough for safe spaces. I can't even hold my girlfriend's hand long enough to not feel the fear in my guts. No prayer that I can stomach to keep us safe from the onslaught of gaze or the straight whistles that fly freely from misogynistic lips. And the hissing threats of rape are sounds that sends chills down my spine, and I constantly agonize over not having more of a backbone to withstand the heaviness of this violence. Now, while the mainstream rejoices over same-sex marriages, then dismisses locker room talk instead of emphasis on consent language, all I'm really trying to do is survive walks around our neighborhoods. So I rush to get home, gasp to catch my breath while lying in my bed, because it's the only way I know how to feel the support underneath all this weight for a safe space. I wrote this poem at a serious incident that involved the love of my life, where we were harassed right here in DC. And this poem is a culmination of a lifetime's worth of being harassed, from street harassment to sexual assault, physical assault that I've experienced, and also knowing other women who experience very similar kinds of violence. And for me, it was a personal moment that I needed to write this poem, because I was feeling a lot of pain and trauma that continued to come about in different ways, to the point where I was no longer going out in DC. I was staying at home mostly the entire time. And for me, it was a way to take the steps towards liberating myself from that fear or from the trauma that was holding me in all this time. My favorite line is when I say, I know I should be giving them bell hooks, but instead all I want to do is give my left ones. And bell hooks is actually an author of one of my favorite books. Is all about love. It's been something that has helped me heal over time, but something that I constantly feel a battle between, just walking down the street at times and feeling harassment, is how do I respond to these situations? And I want to respond in love, but there are times when I feel attacked. And when you feel attacked, the first response is to fight back. So that's something that I think about a lot. I hope this poem really connects with people. I think trauma goes a long way, and I think some of the conversations that we have around street harassment, around behavior, around language and consent, those are things that I feel are really important, and it's been missing. We put the responsibility on women, queer folks, trans folks to wear certain types of clothing or behave in a certain way in order to not be targeted and not be violated or killed. And these are the wrong conversations that we're having. We need to have conversations where how do we respect one another on sidewalks and on the street even, no matter how different they are from you. And I think that's been really important, and something that I hope in particular young men hear this poem and really ask themselves how would they like to be treated, and think about that and carry that with them.